Author, fashion journalist, former creative director of Vogue magazine, André Leon Talley held many titles throughout his career. It was very impressive. He got his start working at Interview magazine. They posted this morning about his passing. True fashion royalty and Interview family since his first job as a receptionist in the early 1970s. André got his big break as a fashion writer, interviewing Karl Lagerfeld for our June 1975 issue, and the rest of his incredible story is a A-list fashion history.
Yeah, the style icon passed away yesterday. He was 73. And here with a look at his legacy is Alicia Quarles, senior news correspondent at Daily Mail TV. Good morning, Alicia.
How are you?
Good to see you, Alicia. You know, André Leon Talley worked at so many publications, right? Interview, WWD. But he'll forever, of course, be connected to Vogue magazine, where he worked in the 80s and the 90s, breaking so many barriers, right? And he worked with both Diane Vreeland, who first promoted and mentored him, and then Anna Wintour. I mean, the list goes on and on here, but talk about his impact, really.
Well, you're spot on. So he interned for Diana Vreeland, who was the editor before Anna Wintour. And then he joined Vogue officially in 1983, the same year that Anna Wintour joined. She, of course, became, which she is, the CEO editor of Vogue. But he became the first Black creative director in 1987. But to your point before that, he was with Interview magazine. He was with WWD. John Fairchild mentored him. So he was really just a trailblazer in all levels.
Yeah, he was so large. He was like larger than life in this industry. But he came from modest means in North Carolina, right? He went on to college. He got his master's in French literature at Brown University before he came here to the city. So how did he go from a Brown graduate to New York City to take over New York's fashion scene?
Hazel, you're spot on. First of all, he was larger than life. He was 6'6", a very big man. But he was actually raised by his grandmother in Durham, North Carolina. And he says that he would go to the rich part of town to get his magazines every week. And for him, that was escapism. He says it didn't matter about your sexuality, nothing. He got a full scholarship to Brown University where he studied French. He was a Francophile. He went on to teach French. And then he started interning in the fashion industry. And really, that's where he found his lane, his love.
Yeah, you know, and back in 2020, he released a book called The Chiffon Trenches, Alicia, which addressed, you know, some tough topics here. Race, sexual abuse, child abuse, and he also used it really, though, as a way to set the record straight. What was that all about? How was the book received? And what did the fashion world have to say about it?
Well, the book was controversial. This was his second biography.
Yeah.
It was controversial because he really came at Anna Wintour. The two of them had been very close friends, had been a force. But he said in the book that she's cruel. He said really intense things. He later went on to apologize for what he wrote, but he talked about racism in the fashion industry. He also says that when he left Vogue, he felt like a lot of people left him.
Yeah, you know, and because of his towering demeanor, I actually had the opportunity, just like you, I'm sure many times, of interviewing him. He was a little bit intimidating just because of where he was, of where he stood in this industry. He could always be seen in the front row at fashion shows, on the red carpet, like I was saying, you know, interviewing him. What memories do you have of him?
I think what you're saying is exactly it. He could be intimidating with that big cape, very tall. I have a couple memories. Standing by him at the Oscars for the first time, he had a stool next to him. So in between interviews, he would sit on this stool because he was a big man. And then the last memory I have of him is actually from 2019. We were at a premiere and he embraced me. He gave me love. And for me, that was validation. Like, oh, this is André Leon Talley saying hi to me.
Right.
He could be intimidating, but he could also be really cool.
I thought that stool would be so people, when they were interviewing him, could step on it and be the same level with him. But I guess,
really.
you know, I guess it was for him to sit. There's that too.
It could be that too.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody bring a stool to a red carpet.
Right,
so
right.
That will always stick with me.
You know, Alicia, his expertise, though, recognized by this whole new generation, too, who may not be reading magazines, but they were watching him as a judge on the hit competition series America's Next Top Model, right? So having him on that show was an extraordinary moment for the time, also for Tyra Banks and the show's producers, right?
It was. That was really validating what she was doing with Top Model. I mean, at the time, André was the biggest editor. You have André Leon Talley on your show, but it also speaks to him in reinvention. You know, he also was on Sex and the City, Empire. He constantly reinvented himself and stayed relevant. So to your point, people aren't reading magazines. They saw him on TV. They see him on TikTok. He was always 1 foot forward.
Very relevant. All right, Alicia, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning to speak about him. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time. And we were going to see you at 3 o'clock today on
Yes.
Daily Mail TV right here on Pix 11.